here for you guys today. I decided that I would talk to you guys about some innovations on fursuits and where fursuit design is going through the rest of 2017 and beyond. So some of the things I wanted to cover today is new tech that goes into suits, new techniques, new looks, new styles, and what you can expect to see farther down the road. Anyways, let's go. So, teeny tiny disclaimer, I just want to mention that certain features like follow me eyes won't be making it into this video because I feel like those don't really have anywhere to go in terms of modification or modernization. You're more than welcome to show me examples of where they do. But in terms of some of the things I feature in here, I feel like they do have places to expand, like moving jaws, animatronics, sound, and other topics I will cover. So apologies that follow me eyes are not in here, but I personally think they've made it about as far as they can go, and I'm happy to hear your thoughts otherwise. While traditional moving jaws typically are created using pieces of foam, in recent years, more advanced hinging techniques and just more advanced techniques in general have led these to be more dynamic, more stable, and much easier to operate. So the first big innovation that I'm seeing more and more of is really new and interesting approaches to the classic moving jaw that you see on most suits, including me. These have been used to make characters look as if they are speaking or give them more animation, a more realistic feel. So this one's not necessarily a new innovation, but it's one that's continuing to be developed in new and interesting ways and definitely lends to the actual performance of people who are in fursuits. It happens to be one that I have on my noggin right now, but I do not have on Cupcake you usually see in my other videos. All right, on to the next one. Whether it's your eyes, paws, or claws that light up, the way that people light their suits has greatly evolved past just simple LED strips or LED bulbs. Now you see people using much more advanced equipment, which lends to a much more interesting final product and end performance. Now, a feature that is also gaining some more popularity / it's been a thing, but the way people are incorporating it are very different, is lights in suit. Now, Heli normally has a light positioned right here that can illuminate the lower jaw and some of the eye crevices. I need new batteries for it, so at the moment, this beautiful spooky babe does not light up. But normally she does. Some really great innovations of this that I've seen are people using like LED traditional strips. I myself use a little micro light that I use in my gloving. If you've ever seen my gloving videos, it's one of those little micro lights with a program set to cycle through colors. But some really cool innovations that I've seen with this are actually programmed Arduino strips that have like flux patterns and much more advanced tech involved that gives it a much bigger impact when performing. And I can link some pictures of this afterwards so you guys can see what I really mean. So I'll probably put some screenshots right after this just so you can see like where I'm getting at with this. As I'd alluded to earlier, some ways that moving jaws are expanding are through the use of animatronics. Additionally, this has also affected ears, eyes, and different performance aspects which really dynamically change the way your fursona or fursuit interacts with crowds of people. The two I've shown previous have almost fully animatronic suits, which are very advanced and very hard to fabricate. So animatronics, something that I don't really have any experience with, but animatronic suits are actually pretty cool. Now, whether they have the actual triggers on their paw pads or in their fingers, or there's a remote somewhere in the head, or there's a program you can run on your phone that you have on your wrist, which is what I've seen in some suits. Animatronic suits have some really neato features, and I've seen a couple, and I'll probably put some screenshots at the end of this or ahead of it, whichever. But it gives you the ability to have your character snarl, open and close eyelids, and in some cases I've even seen like actual computer screens also give that effect of blinking or eye changing or what have you. It's a really, really cool effect that lends to the performance. And in some cases, utilizing a NECOMIMI to actually animate the ears and give the illusion that you have like actual free use of them has led to some really great performance capabilities in suit. Next. Probably the newest to the scene is the use of Arduino or open source electronics in conjunction with fursuits to create very interesting effects. In the particular studio that I have featured here, they've used Adafruit's Arduino technology to create dynamically blinking LED screen eyes, which are pretty amazing and act the way Follow Me's would, except with dynamic blinks and much more advanced features. So I alluded to actual lighting technologies earlier, but I wanted to kind of distinguish it from actual computerization and having more, I guess, high tech in a head. So having those computer screens that can blink, having full facial visors that actually animate, and more specifically, especially with the really huge outburst of interest in primogens and protogens, the actual ability to use modern technology to create some of those more techy digital creatures in a way that's very believable and very, very convincing. In those respects, I find those extremely cool, and I definitely think that is the future of fursuits, is going more into that tech realm, but with more of an emphasis on a furry creature and really melding them together into something that is a fully believable, amazing character performance, which I think we're already seeing a lot of, but I cannot wait to see where it goes from here, because it's definitely on the rise, especially with creators like Kyborg Studios who are killing it in that sphere right now. You're going to see a lot of very techy suits coming in a really big and very cool way. I can guarantee that. Now, I've really only been able to find one fursuiter in particular who really shows dynamic audio use in suit, quite literally with subwoofers and speakers embedded in the fursuit themselves. Beauty of the Bass has probably one of the most interesting audio triggering suits that has dynamic voices and even has specific music blaring anytime you see them at any con you'll go to. Alright, so finally, one of the last big suit innovations I want to talk about is very specific to one particular suitor that I see doing it now that you might see more of in the future, and that's sound and wiring and actual audio abilities of suits. We've all heard the squeaker in suit, and while some love it, some hate it, and some are indifferent, there's a really cool thing happening, especially with Beauty of the Bass. They actually have speakers rigged in suits with audio prompts that they can control from their hand so that their character's voice isn't just limited to what they can do with their face. So one example of this is having pre-recorded responses for certain interactions and really being able to manipulate the sound coming out of your suit's head in a way that really lends to the actual character performance of your character if it has a voice. Or if it doesn't have a voice, this leads to a lot of really cool abilities in the future of actually having maybe some of those more mechy suits have matching sounds that really match up to that character. So I can't wait to see what people do with that. And I'm just so excited to see how advanced fursuits are going to get as we move on throughout the year. Ooh, so excited, so excited. Alright, so now my final thoughts on some of the new suit innovations that are coming out. What do I think about them? How do I feel about them? Will I ever have a suit with those incorporated? Well, I think it's really cool. Personally, I think having more technology at your disposal to really bring that character to life, whether it be light, sound, animation abilities, visibility improvements, what have you, I think it's cool. I think it's a great thing that's happening in the community, and maybe in the future I'll have a suit that has one of those capabilities, but who knows? I believe with each character, it's like, it depends on what your character needs are and exactly what your performance would need to add to it. So if you do feel like your own voice can't produce the sound that your character would make, then maybe those audio advancements are great for you. If you think that your character does have a bioluminescence or a techie light aspect, maybe some of those new lighting rigs are a really great fit for your character. Similarly, having the ability to actually have computer screens that animate the exact eye that maybe you can't paint or you're not really finding that burlap or canvas are giving you, maybe that could be a great solution if you're more tech inclined to really get that actual interaction with people seeing your suit that you've always wanted but couldn't quite nail with suits as they are now. I personally think they're amazing, and I can't wait to see more suits come out that have these features involved, because I think it can only help the community grow overall. But anyways, what are your thoughts? What's your favorite new suit innovation that you've seen a ton of and you think is really shaking up the scene? Let me know in the comments, and if you want to see more of Helly, let me know in the comments and I'll start actually bringing her into more videos, as she is my first suit. And I'd love to see more of her in more of my videos, but I want to make sure that's something you guys want to see. Anyways, bye!